In this video, we're going to be looking at ER and IR verbs. You're already familiar with the AR verbs, and the ER verbs and the IR verbs are just variations of their endings. Oh, let's take a look at the AR verbs. What are the standard endings for the AR verbs? Stop the video and see if you can fill in the spots. Okay, for the yo up here, it's the O ending. For the tu position, it's as. For the el, ella, and usted, it ends in a. For nosotros or nosotros, it is in amos. For vosotros or vosotros, it's ais. And for ustedes, ellos, or ellas, it's an. The ER endings are very similar. The yo form is, the ending is O. For the tu, it's instead of as, it's es. Instead of a, it's e. Instead of amos, it's amos. Instead of ice, it's ace. And instead of an, it's n. So you can see here that when we have the O, stays the same no matter where. But the as changes, the A changes to an E, and we can see wherever there is an A, it changes to an E, but the endings are just the same. All the A's change to E's. So if you know your AR chart over here, you don't have to learn the ER chart again. All you have to remember is that wherever you see an A, it changes to an E when it's an ER verb. Let's see if we can do some of these verbs and practice with them. Here are some of the ER verbs that we've already had. Leer is to read. Correr, to run. Comer, to eat. Beber, to drink. Okay, we're going to use some sentences with this and see if you can use these verbs in sentences. So here we have several sentences. You can stop the video and see if you can do these sentences right now, or if you want to, you can watch the whole video. I'd stop it, see if you can change the endings of these verbs so that they will work with the subjects they have. And then we'll take a look at them together. Okay, let's take a look at it. Yo correr todos los días. You know that correr right here is an infinitive word, and therefore we cannot use that here. Here's our infinitive right here, correr. We have to take off the ending right there on correr. So what we do is we take off the ER, and then we add on, the O, and it's yo corro todos los días. I run every day. Tu beber mucha agua. We want to say you drink a lot of water. We have to take off the ER ending, and then we put on the ending that goes with you, which is es. Tu bebes mucha agua. You drink a lot of water. On the third one down here, nosotros no leer muchos los sábados. We want to say we don't read a lot on Saturdays. We take off the ER ending, leer, and we add emos on it. Nosotros no leemos mucho los sábados. we don't read a lot on Saturdays. On our next one, we have comer. Ellos comer muchas verduras. We can't say ellos comer. We take off the ER and put on the EN. Ellos comen muchas verduras. They eat a lot of vegetables. And our last one, el beber muchos refrescos al mediodía. We need to take off that ER. The ending for el is e. So it's el bebe refrescos al mediodía. He drinks pop at noon. Here we have seen so far that wherever you have an A in the AR chart, it turns to an E in the ER chart. And so we know that all you have to learn really is this AR chart, and just remember to change the A's to E's and you're all set. What we're going to do now is take a look at the third type of verb, which is the IR chart. And the good news about the IR chart is it is exactly the same as the ER chart. Exactly the same, except for here. We copy the O exactly like it is in the ER chart, and then only in this part up here does the I show up. IS here and emos. This is pronounced amos. This is pronounced amos. 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 Emos. Ice. Ace. Is. Ice. Ace. Is. And the rest of these are exactly the same as the ER chart is over there. You will hear me oftentimes talk about the boot. And you will notice that these two changes, I have always told you, these two changes here are outside the boot. We know that the changes are either inside the boot or they're outside the boot. And in this case, the I is only reflected on the outside of the boot. Okay, let's see if we can practice with some IR verbs. So far, the only two verbs we've had that are IR verbs is escribir and compartir, which mean to write and to share. I'm going to add some others so that we have more to practice with. Vivir, which means to live. Describir, to describe. Aburrir, to bore. You can use that with your teachers, except for Mr. Gardner, of course. Confundir, to confuse. Don't you dare use that with me either. And decidir, which means to decide. And for some reason I can't write that on the screen. So now let's see if we can use some of these in sentences. Okay, so here are our sentences, and you will notice in parentheses at the end I have the verbs that you will be using in each one of those sentences. They're all IR verbs, just for a little bit of variety here. And so what I would like you to do is take off the ending of these verbs, that is the IR, and put on the correct ending that matches the subject. Shut off, you'll need a little piece of paper for this, so get out a piece of paper right now, and then write these sentences out, and conjugating the verbs, or if you want to, you can just conjugate the verbs. And then you stop the video first, do that, and then you turn the video back on, and we'll see in a couple of minutes with the answers, and we'll see how you do. Okay, well, welcome back. So our first sentence is, yo en los Estados Unidos. Yo vivo en los Estados Unidos. I live in the United States. Our second one is, ellos escriben muchos novelas. They write a lot of novels. Notice that it has an en ending here. It's just like the ER verbs. Tú Decides ir al cine con Samuel. You decide to go to the movies with Sam. Nosotros compartimos la pizza. We share the pizza. Oh, are we so generous or what? El señor Gardner nos aburre. Mr. Gardner bores us. But you know that's not true. El maestro de ciencias nos confunde. The science teacher confuses us. Ustedes describen su familia bien. You all describe your family very well. Well, that's good. How'd you do? Okay, that's it for the IR verbs. We'll see you in the next video.